Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I want to share an in-depth review of Bath & Body Works Sunlit Glow. I just recently purchased this candle a couple of weeks ago when Bath & Body Works was having, I think they were actually having a $13.95 candle sale, which I normally will wait for $12.95. But I did have a 25% off code in the app, so I figured, okay, well, I'll go ahead and I'll shop during this particular sale because it seemed like the $12.95 was just not going to come around anytime soon. I was in the market for a number of coconut fragrances for the summertime. So I went through and put together an order online for in-store pickup. I focused on all fragrances that were new to me, or at least sounded new to me. So Sunlit Glow was one of those fragrances that had a coconutty vibe to it based on the description. So into the cart she went. And I gotta say, I've really been enjoying this one, so I'm pretty excited to share this review. It is out of stock online, but I checked several of the stores in my area just on the website here, and it seems to still be readily available at most stores. So if you want this one, while you can't order it online, I would just pop into your local store. I bet they'll still have it in stock. And again, you can always check that online as well. If you are newer to my channel, I like to read through the scent story and the fragrance notes, then tell you what I actually smell in this candle. Then I like to dig into the overall strength and throw, and then discuss any burn issues that may have popped up. So sooting, discoloration, the wicks dying, huge mushroom tops forming, any of that kind of stuff is what I discussed during that part of the video. So let's go ahead and dig in with the scent story as well as the scent notes, and then let me tell you what I actually smell here. So they say that this smells like warm, sweet vibes of golden hour on the coast. Sounds delightful, right? The fragrance notes are sunny citrus, beachside coconut, and warm amber. What I was hoping for with this fragrance was that I was gonna get kind of a little bit of that salty, beachy ocean air. I was hoping for a nice creamy coconut note. And as far as the amber, I typically prefer my amber to be a like nice warm, like super resinous amber, like a very distinct amber note. I love it, and I think it blends really well with coconut. So is that what I got? Yeah, happy to report. The citrus actually is pretty nice in here. It is present. I was hoping that maybe it wouldn't necessarily be there, but I do smell some citrus. To me, it's kind of like a light blend of like maybe a grapefruit and a Meyer lemon. It's definitely very sweet. It's got a nice little tang to it, but thankfully, I guess for me, it is not the star of this fragrance actually. What I get more so than anything else is a nice creamy coconut, definitely a coconut that would fall into the sunscreen type of coconut vibes department. It definitely smells a little bit sunscreeny to my nose, but so more so maybe a perfumey creamy coconut. But listen, it's a coconut that I really enjoy, and it is very prominent in the fragrance for sure. I also do get a little bit of that salty ocean air. The term beachside, I think, is definitely a good descriptor here, paired with that coconut. But more so like a sunscreen coconut, not an actual like edible coconut. The amber is definitely present in the fragrance, but again, It's not the star of the show here. And I notice the amber more than I do the citrus, but it is present and it's really, really nice. It adds a little bit more depth to the fragrance overall. Maybe helps tone down a little bit of that excessive tanginess that can come from citrus. Maybe cuts a little bit of that acidity there. But you guys, this is a really pleasant fragrance. It is definitely, it is one that I would put into the coconut category. It's a beachy, summery, slightly citrusy, warm, slightly salty, creamy coconut. It's delicious. Listen, I'm a fan of this, and I would absolutely repurchase this in the future. I probably won't be getting another one this summer, but it is a fragrance that I do hope returns. Let's go ahead and dig into the strength and throw of this one. One thing that I was mentioning in my haul video and in a couple of my most recent weekly home fragrance roundup videos is that I feel like this most recent haul that I did here, the strength and throw seems to be returning to the 3-wick candles from Bath & Body Works. I don't know if anybody else experienced this, but I feel like over the course of the last, like, I would say maybe 3 years or so, although I haven't done a ton of shopping with Bath & Body Works in the last 3 years, the candles that I have purchased have smelled a little bit lighter in terms of strength and throw. So when I first started with Bath & Body Works, which I think was probably back in 2010, that was when I really started digging into purchasing the 3-wick candles. The strength and throw was super intense. I mean, I would probably get a strength and throw of about at least an 8 or a 9 out of every single candle that I purchased. During the last 3 years, I feel like that number went down to more of like a strength and a throw of like a 6 on average. Sometimes it would, you know, I could bump it up to an 8. But like they were significantly lighter, and it was really disappointing to me because if there was one thing that I could always count on for a Bath & Body Works candle is that I could light one of these 3 wicks even in my open concept home here, and it would fill the bulk of the downstairs. You know, like these candles definitely did some heavy lifting, and that had diminished for me over the last few years. But with every single one of the candles that I have burned so far from this most recent haul, I feel like the strength and throw is back to more of like a 7 and an 8 on average for both strength and throw. In fact, this specific candle here, the Sunlit Glow, I'm gonna give this a strength of a solid 8, and also probably somewhere between a 7 and an 8 in terms of throw. I would say it fills almost the bulk of the downstairs. It's a really good traveler. When I have had this in the front formal living room, I've been able to smell it in the kitchen, which is a good ways away. I've been able to smell it even as far away as the laundry room, which is down another hallway and around the corner. So it's got some really good oomph to it. I'm really impressed with the performance, and I'm glad to be seeing a little bit more strength and throw to the 3 wicks. So yeah, I mean, this has good strength and throw. I love the fragrance. So let's discuss the overall burn quality, because this is also where I feel like sometimes I struggle with Bath & Body Works a little bit, sometimes a lot. The overall burn on this one has been pretty darn good. It does have the really thick tree stump like wicks, and they're not my favorite. I feel like they either dud out or they are doing what you're seeing right now, which is being just really, the flames are dancing around quite a bit. This seems to burn pretty hot, and I would also say pretty fast. And I think it's because of these wicks. I'm gonna show you the flames so that you can kind of get a sense of what I'm trying to say here. I feel like it's easier to explain it when we're looking at it. But this candle has not been lit for very long. This has been lit for about 2.5 hours, and I feel like at this point I need to blow it out. I obviously have a pretty decent deep wax pool going here, which is great. It formed very quickly, but do you see how these flames are really tall and they're smoking a little bit? There, you can kind of see it against the white there. Yeah, there's little poofs of smoke coming up. I don't love that. This is one of those situations where I am going to go ahead and extinguish this right after filming. I wish I could burn it for another hour because I'm really enjoying it, but this makes me uncomfortable. I can also start to see a little bit of discoloration just on the side of the jar over here. Ooh, that's hot. So yeah, this is just burning really, really hot. The flames are getting a little too tall for my liking, and I might have to relegate this one to the candle crock for the remainder of its life. If after I trim the wicks, I'm sure I'll burn this again tomorrow. If I'm burning this tomorrow and the wicks continue to do this after only a couple of hours, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it into one of my candle crocks. I don't really have any candles going in my crocks right now anyway, so, and this would be a lovely background fragrance for me. It would certainly blend well with any of the other candles that I picked up in that haul. By the way, if you missed that video, I'll go ahead and link it down below in the description box. But yeah, really my main beef here is that this has those really thick wicks that tend to cause issues like this. I mean, I knew as soon as I saw them that there was potential for this to happen. I don't mind crocking my candles. I wish that I didn't have to do that. I love the ambiance, obviously, that candles provide, but I also am someone who uses my candle crocks regularly. I don't view that as a waste of the candle. In fact, I find that I get a longer, like a fragrance experience putting the candles in the crock versus burning them, because this candle would be gone in another probably 3 days or so at the rate that it's going. It's burning really, really fast. So in the crock, I will get probably at least a week of 24/7 fragrance output if I put the last half of the candle in there. So that's not a waste for me, but if you are looking to burn this one, just be a little cognizant of the fact that you might not be able to leave it lit for, you know, hours on end, because these wicks are definitely going to get away from you pretty quickly. So anyway, for what it's worth, definitely 2 thumbs up on the fragrance here. 2 thumbs up on the strength and the throw, but the burn quality it's a little sketch. So anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about Sunlit Glow in the comments right below this video here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to see if I can link this online. If you want it, you can click that link, and then you'll be able to put your zip code in on the store selector there, and it'll let you know whether your store has it in stock. So anyway, I do have one more Bath & Body Works candle review coming up a little bit later on this evening, so stay tuned for that. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.